college football, you got preseason NFL, and we got still MLB going strong right now in fantasy season long and DFS as well. So the draft dashboard here helps me choose my players. I'm mainly focused on today for showing an easy way to go about this cash strategy to build up some bankroll as we do so consistently here. And you got to go to your MLB research station, okay, with the DFS Army, get a membership to get access to this, or unless you need to go to cheap route, you can go to the Fangraph site and look at this data. For overall sites, that is for ISO, you can look at specifically isolated slugging percentage. This is in order right here for not only this year, but including last year. So you get a very large sample size of what to expect, whether a player is hot or not. You can also look at that data, though, here specifically on this site. If you want to, for example, for the past 15 days. So that's another specific something to look at here on this site. But anyways, looking at the top guys here, starting with Trout, Alonso, Yelich, no surprises there. The guys in yellow just want to look out for. They don't have much playing time over the past couple of years. It's just a small sample size of at bats. So then you have that, but then you also need over here what I'm going to show you specifically to look at, as it won't matter whether he's facing lefty or righty today because of this reason over here. With the starting pitcher matchups of the day right here. And then we're going to go over to the bullpen rankings to try to sort this out right over here, excuse me, for the day. We can include all slates if we want, or just focus on, clicking on whatever times. This is from Sunday, but this still gives us the very relevant data that we need to look forward here for Monday slate. Getting right back on track with some rankings and fantasy, so forth for the day. But we're looking at actually first the innings pitched. The innings pitched, we're going to say anything we want that we desire to pick on as a matchup with our batting lineup and or stacks would be less than 5.4, 5.5 innings. So that basically we're getting at least 3.5. Sorry, not 4, but if the starting pitcher pitches 5 innings, that's 4 left for the bullpen, right? So we're at least 3.5 innings left over for the bullpen we want, towards the end of the game. So we're going to say less than 5.5 and weed out everybody that doesn't match that criteria. So they're all out of the spreadsheet. And then we want to look at here in that category, since these guys likely can blow up due to just getting less innings because of probably not getting strikeouts, letting guys get on base, and so on and so forth, that this is what's going on with this team's pitching. So these are the ranks. That includes the data of Sierra home runs per 9, fly ball rate, and hard contact. So this is the worst here right here and best if this team's playing today, as a pitcher may get not enough innings for a quality start, things like that. That bullpen will roll in and that pen will be bad. So especially here on down to probably in the red, the 19th, that's versus Payeno. So these teams we're looking at to pick on for today. We don't care about the pitcher nor his handedness because he's going to be out of there. So just something to consider. Not that you don't want to, but you can also look at that for simplification purposes here for today. Look at that. So, excuse me, we got teams looking to pick on today. The top 5, let's say Baltimore, Miami, Detroit, Toronto, and the Angels. So remember, we want to pick on those teams and their bullpens today, possibly, as this data is not completely verified. I apologize, because this is from yesterday, Sundays. So we want to take out this filter of the innings pitched and get it from somewhere else, because we don't have it yet for today. They come out with it later, between 8 and 9 p.m. So as we're watching our players or pitchers, we would rather want to come over here, sort these guys out per position, the pitcher position, of course, get where we need to be here, and then look at the innings pitched over here. Let's see. Here we go. Starting with guys like the Kansas City matchups, Philly, Baltimore. Baltimore we saw on the list, of course, we can pick on them, no doubt. With the Yankees, of course, no surprise. 3 innings pitched. Look at doing that. So we're going with a Yankee stack for today, an all day. And let's see who else we can find here. The worst bullpens would now include, since we took that filter out over here in the sheet. You can make your own sheet, by the way, as I showed on one other video previous to this. Maybe the one before this if you want to look at that. But however, we're looking at picking on, let's order this up again actually. The bullpens over here. Okay. Do this again. Sort descending. Descending order to the best bullpen from the worst. Okay, there we go. So the best bullpens or worst bullpens, for the day. The Mets, we're looking for the Mets. Still Miami, Kansas City, Detroit, Washington, the White Sox, Toronto, and LA Angels. So we're looking for any of those teams right here. Let's see. Kansas City, we're definitely going with Boston. So go with them. As you look for those Boston guys with the best ISO. You can also look you can look at on base percentage plus stolen bases if you want to, or you can total them all up and look at your OPS, weighted OPS for the category of the batter, and you can look at that, of course, as well for pitcher for these statistical categories to help you to see. Now, when I click on something like this in the optimizer, after I watch my players, this is important for me Saturday, after I clicked on my position optimizer, this is what happened. I had a pitcher that was his name was Nola for Philly, came up every time, was the best optimal pitcher right here that it came up with. And then I wanted to diversify that, and I put in the Washington pitcher Strasburg a couple times as opposed to. So if I would have stayed with this optimal pitcher in all my cash lineups, I would have won every one. So I saw a difference there as even though you may not like to go with the same pitcher every time, sometimes it's the best decision for you to go with the optimal pitcher that this optimization tool comes up with, because as the other one in that team gave up 14 runs to the Arizona Diamondbacks, you were screwed as far as those particular cash lineups, and they were very low scoring as I saw. So just something to think about. There are times when you, of course, can diversify, but there are some times where the optimizer, maybe on this one, or maybe if you use the one over here, if it just shows you per the settings that the best pitcher is showing up every time in the lineups, it could be according to things like, the important factors of Sierra of their pitcher, ground ball, fly ball rate, and Ks per 9. If that pitcher is consistent in a decent matchup, at least, compared to the other ones, if that's the only one that's popping out as on the optimizers as the optimal cash pitcher, optimal or cash, basically same thing, then that's the one you probably want to go with all of your lineups. Try to cash in all of them. So that's just what tidbit I've learned and want to emphasize, but not in all cases. If the data is arranged disaccordingly, you don't want to do that. So it just depends on the slate, depends on the data that you come up with, how everything compares. Do your comps between pitchers. Most importantly, do your own spreadsheet. If you like to look at all the data, it's probably better, of course, as I can see everything. That's why I prefer and choose to do so. So with all these tips here today, I want to leave you with that for the lineup, and I will promise to post in my section of wealthyfantasyfootball.com. Even though there's all the football stuff going on, there's a menu section for the plays for the day for the 5th of August in baseball as well. All right, take care.